Hi everybody, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Delightful Donna. Today we're making buttermints. These are kind of a staple, I guess, in the South, but I grew up eating them with my grandma and I really like them, so I decided why not, let's make some at home. So let's get started. We're gonna use some salted butter. If you don't want to use salted butter, you can use unsalted if that's what you have, but you'll want to add a pinch of salt to the batter, I guess we'll call it, or to the recipe as well. Okay, I'm going to be using a stand mixer to mix this because the ingredients are going to be kind of hard to mix by hand. It is possible, but I would recommend using an electric mixer or a stand mixer if you have one, and we'll be using the paddle attachment. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our butter. We're using 1 stick of butter. Put that in, and then put on our paddle attachment. And then we're going to turn it on low, and you just want to whip that butter until it gets a little bit fluffy. And let's turn it up just a little bit. Okay, I've beat it for about 1 minute on 3, and this is what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to add our powdered sugar. So we just lift that up. We're trying a new style of filming today, so you guys have to let me know in the comments what you think. Normally my husband is here and he's my cameraman, and I decided I was gonna try to do it by myself, so we'll see how it goes. So we're gonna do 2 cups of powdered sugar into the bowl. Okay. Then we're gonna turn the mixer on and we're gonna let it go. When you turn it back on, you wanna make sure that it's only on speed 1 or this powdered sugar is gonna go everywhere. So very slowly, let's start mixing again. You can see that it's starting to get incorporated into the butter, and it'll start looking a little bit granular. And that's what we're looking for, sort of that sandy texture. All right, this is what we're looking for, is that granular texture. Almost looks like sand. If you're a baker, you'll recognize this as when you're making biscuits or any type of a dough like pie dough, and you cut in your butter, and then that's what we're looking for, is that granular texture. And now we're gonna add our flavorings and a little bit of half and half, and that's gonna start making the dough come together. So what I'm gonna be adding is some vanilla extract, some peppermint extract, and some half and half. Okay, so we're gonna be adding some half and half, and I'm gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of half and half. You could use heavy cream if you wanted to. So that's 1, and then half. Okay. And then I'm going to be adding 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This just really enhances the flavor. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. And then we're gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of peppermint extract. And then we're gonna turn it on low again and let that blend. Okay, this is where we are now. So it's mixed in a little bit, but it's not completely smooth yet. Now we're gonna scrape it down. Still learning to do this with one hand, guys. And then scrape down the sides of the bowl as well. That powdered sugar incorporated. Oh, my bowl came loose. There we go. All right. Now we're gonna add our coloring. If you don't want it to be a color, if you just want it to be yellow like this, then you can leave it just like this. But I'm gonna add coloring into mine. And then we're going to also add the rest of the powdered sugar. so I am going to do pink today. Just want a few drops. I did 4 drops. It's pretty powerful, the coloring, so you don't want too much. Buttermints should be a pastel color, so just a couple of drops to make it that pastel color. And then we'll add some more powdered sugar and then mix that in. All right, we've added the rest of our powdered sugar. Now we're gonna put it on low again and let that mix in. Okay, now that we've gotten our powdered sugar mixed in, the additional 2 cups, the texture should look something like Play-Doh when it's right. If it's a little bit sticky, then go ahead and add just a little bit of powdered sugar to it and start with about a tablespoon at a time, and then mix it until you can touch it and it's no longer sticky. So now this is what we're working with. And I can touch it, nothing on my hands. Okay, so now we're gonna take it out and put it into a little ball and then cut it into pieces. Okay, I've put down Silpat liners. You could use parchment paper for this as well if you prefer. This is just what I have, this is what I prefer to use. Now I'm gonna take all of the, we're gonna call it dough, I guess, out of the mixer here. Let's get it all off of our paddle. And then we'll scoop her up here. All right, now we have our Play-Doh. And we're just gonna put it into a ball. All right, so now I'm just starting to roll it into like a little log so I can cut it easier. And we're gonna just cut it into pieces. I'm using a bench scraper or pastry cutter. And then we're gonna set these aside here. We're gonna work with one at a time. Cut that in half. And then I start rolling it in my hands like this. You can do it however you want, rolling it on the Silpat as well. And we're just gonna roll it out until we get about the size we want. I got a little thin in the center, so I'm gonna roll it again. Okay, so I have it rolled out into a little snake here, as you'll see. And now we're just gonna chop it up. So I'm gonna put it into 2 so I can put it over here. Let's put it on this one so you guys can see it. We're gonna move all these over here because we'll transfer this to a baking sheet. Not baking sheet, just a sheet. And then we're gonna start, just cut them whatever size you want them. Just like that. And then you have these cute little pillowy mints that are absolutely delicious. They have a very delicate flavor. They are minty but not overwhelming, and they taste delicious. So let's move the camera a little. Here we go. All right, so now you've made buttermints. So now we're going to put them onto a sheet pan on a piece of parchment paper, and you're gonna leave them sit out on the counter overnight. They will start getting hardening on the outside. Now I'll tell you, in my experience, I've not had them harden completely, like where they're crunchy through and through. They're intended to be crisp on the outside, but real soft on the inside. But we may have not let them sit long enough also because my family can't stop eating them. So you may experience that same issue. Well, I hope you guys like this recipe. I'll put all of the ingredients and the amounts down in the description box. And as always, we appreciate you watching. Please follow us on all of our social media channels, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.